So how do you typically begin assessing a program's current state when you join a new organization or just work with a new team?
I try to go in and listen first, right? Going into a business unit and not going in with the stick, right? You're going in with the carrot that says, "Hey, listen, I want to learn about your business. I want to know how you perform. I want to know how you do things." And then I start introducing scenarios, right? Situations that might occur, and it's just a conversation, right? That's the way I really roll out and deal with all of my business continuity planning is let's have a conversation. I'm not going to hit you with, I need you to fill out these 16 fields, or I need a BCP from you or a business continuity plan. I need you to develop one of those. And here's what you have to do. It's really the conversation, right? How do you work? And let me figure out, then let me retranslate that into how we can best fit that into the potential regulatory requirements that we have for how we have to do things. So that's kind of how I do it first. It's really learning from them first, learning how they work, learning how they want to articulate back to me what they're going to do in a disaster situation. And then I figure out, I feel like that's my job, is to figure out then how to push it back into the planning or the system that we're using. So that's been really important. Everybody works differently. I tend to be a very big picture person. So I can come in and tell you a story and tell you what I think it should look like. And some people will run with that and be like, I know exactly what you're talking about. I think sort of diametrically opposed to me, the people I've worked with are people who are very step-by-step oriented. So they're like, well, what do you need me to do first? And then what's second? And what's third? And you need to give me the detail of everything I need to do. So the way I sort of work through that, again, conversation is always how it starts out. But then I have in my career have morphed into different methods of or modalities of presenting the materials, right? So certainly, there was sort of the development guide. Here's how you do everything. And then it was sort of a PowerPoint slide. So it's a little lighter than that, right? But it's still reading and kind of going through things, having a conversation. And then recently, in the last 3 to 5 years, I learned how to do some media things on my own. And so I turned sort of from the very beginning of that 45-minute conversation with a development deck, I've turned it into like an 8-minute training video with everything that I'm trying to say in 8 minutes. And they can watch it as many times as they want to. They can fall asleep to it and wake up the next morning and do BCP planning if they want to. I think that's really been helpful, is sort of recognizing innovation has to happen in every aspect of the business. So I did a tabletop exercise with someone who was very resistant to being there. When you do a tabletop exercise, it's, we need the leader of the group, right, generally, and whoever they've designated their backup. And then we need as many people in the department to participate so that everyone becomes familiar with the process. Everyone has a chance to work through it. And so I had called a tabletop exercise, and it was like an hour and a half or 2 hours long. That's a big chunk of their day, right? She did not want to be there. And so we started walking through the exercise, and pretty much, I will tell you, literally the words came out of her mouth. We already know what we're doing. I'm not sure why we have to be here, right? And so the response, again, for me was, great. Well, let's walk through it. Let's talk about it. And I think that what I can say about that is that we did get to a point where something came up, and it had to do with some sort of documents or collateral that they had. And I said, oh, well, if we have to evacuate the building, you just kind of leave those laying around? And they said, oh no, those have to get locked up. In fact, we only unlock those and take them out when we're working with them, because then they have to go right back. And so the response was sort of, oh, we do have a gap that we have to fill. So again, just sort of keeping them engaged and moving along through the process and moving through and saying, yeah, I agree with you. You probably do know everything you're doing. I'm just here to help you fill in any gaps. And if we get through this entire thing and you have documented and you have set up recovery strategies for everything, every process in your department, then great. I don't mind that we didn't have any action items out of this, right? It's okay. I'm here to learn from you. I know I'm the business continuity's subject matter expert, but I'm really here to learn about your business. And you are best positioned as the managing director of that area to tell me what you're planning on doing. And then I just help us fit it into the round holes.